my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show Espresso here at S3, and we're continuing our discussion around BRICS and all the current talks surrounding it. Some say it's an opportunity to rebalance global power. Some people not so much. Now, business speaker and author of The Mastery Code, Llewellyn Devereaux, is still on our couch chatting about the nuances of BRICS, because it just feels, given the fact that Russia is putting pressure on all the other members at the moment, that things are changing. Perhaps the ideal that is BRICS might be changing. In fact, Llewellyn, is it okay to say that it feels like BRICS and the ideal around its existence is changing?
Yeah, I think it's moving from a defensive position to a more offensive position now.
Nice.
I think that's what it is. Before it was just like this nice, fancy, cute thing that, you know, look at the Avengers assembling, yay. But now it's like, because of how things have went and it's just the geopolitical structures, it's become more offensive now, where they're thinking boldly. And I think it's because Russia needs it. You know, like, wars are expensive. And so it's moving. There's a bit of more pressure right now, and it's taken the world by surprise.
I love the fact that we're all talking about this.
Yeah.
First major win. That's fantastic. The fact that people on the base level are talking about that, great. Politicians have been trying to make their way through this. There was a meeting with foreign ministers on the 1st of the month.
Oh, yeah, that was in Cape Town now.
Yeah.
How are we actually dealing with this? How do you see this actually playing out? And what emerged from that initial meeting? What seems to be the angle here?
I think what they were really discussing, from what I heard from Honourable Minister Pandor, she was talking about how, and they were talking about, obviously, new members that are going to be coming on board, the kind of protocols that they're going to be putting in place in terms of what that process would look like. I know they started mentioning the currency in January, but I mean, the media obviously was very frenzied about the whole Putin aspect of things, but I think it's really just about how, as there's a lot of interest from other countries now that are trying to come on board, so it's becoming this really kind of, you know, exciting thing that countries want to be a part of, and I think they're trying to find ways of how they're going to flow into that. Then also there was talks about, well, the media was asking whether they were moving the summit to another country, but, you know, that's not happening.
No, and that would feel like, despite the political pressure, that would feel like a massive, massive misstep.
Yeah, I personally think it has to be in South Africa. I think, from my perspective, I think Putin is the kind of person he's going to want to be. He's going to, like, it makes sense. And I think it's once again, it's a chess move. It's a thing of saying,
how this plays out, baby.
That's what it is.
Come on.
That's what it is. So and I think it just announces your position. Sometimes you need to announce your position. There has to be some sort of respect that people have to kind of give to you. And I think if the country bows and says, you know, allows the bullying to happen, it's not going to sit well for a lot of people. A lot of countries.
Well, let's talk about what doesn't sit well at the moment. A lot of foreign countries are putting pressure on us to arrest Putin when he comes here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is where the big reality TV show starts. The producers start rubbing their hands together. With those foreign countries putting pressure on us, South Africa, to arrest Putin, there are two scenarios. We arrest Putin and seemingly break BRICS in a way, or we say, hey, you know, we're doing a diplomatic session here, so this shouldn't have context here. Where do you see this playing out? I mean, do you see South Africa saying, you know, here, Putin, here's a set of handcuffs at the airport? Or are we going to ignore the foreign countries and risk, let's just say, the image of South Africa being tarnished or looked down upon? Or do we even care?
No, I think look, the honest truth is that no one's going to arrest Putin. That's not going to happen. I mean, what I think the defense minister was like, if any country arrests Putin, it's a declaration of war.
Yeah.
We're not trying to catch smoke from Russia. Like, not at all, you know? But I think it's going to be, I mean, like, I think the US had issues with, China and the US had an issue with Taiwan a couple of months back.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you guys go to Taiwan, like, you know, there's going to be smoke.
Yes.
But for the most part, they still went there, they had their chats and everything. But I think that Putin's going to be here. And I think that it's very important. It's a marketing stunt right now. Like, whatever's going to happen in August is going to be, we're ultimately saying it's like, it's a marketing stunt to kind of really get the country, because everyone's going to be paying attention. So the countries that are trying to jump on board on BRICS are going to be looking at what we're going to be doing. So definitely, he's not going to be getting arrested. And I think it's going to assert our position.
Okay.
And I think it's worth knowing with opportunities, and you hit the nail on the head here, there is a vacuum created by the press.
Yes.
Not by the political situation, by the press looking for headlines. We want to make sure that these stories really sell as many newspapers as possible. So just look through that lens when you approach a story like this. All of this being said, what is the ideal outcome for South Africa? There is an opportunity. You see it. Everyone senses that there is a new order coming here. What is the opportunity for South Africa right now? How do we play this?
I think South Africa first asserts its position, number one. And like I said, there's respect that needs to be like had now. We need to be understood, and that's the first thing. So Putin comes here, and then let's let conversation follow, because now what's really interesting with the BRICS situation is that it's all good and fair, but I think it really changed the game when Saudi Arabia joins. That's where the game changes, right? Yeah. But I think with everything that's happening in Africa right now, it's about South Africa leading the charge to say, listen, no, this is our thing, and please just leave us alone. Now, that's just my position. If I was president, if I was some benevolent dictator, I'd be like, nah, not on my watch. But maybe that's a good thing I'm a president.
I mean...
Thanos. So out of the Avengers, which, yeah, exactly, I think we all know.
Well, Thanos knew what he was doing.
Exactly, man. The 50-50. Well, don't leave it up to a 50-50. Go all in 100%. This is an opportunity for South Africa to put their hand up, regardless of the pressures on the country politically at the moment. We're all about that economic development, and a little bit hungry right now. Can't we?
Yes, I can do some cheese if you want. I mean, in fact, Zoe, can you start us off?